Here. Yeah, let's get straight to it. Right back at you like I never left. And I'm going to go this hard to my last breath. It's Lil Kenny Russell, Canoom, Consul, Moon. You already know what you're going to get me. Step in this room. You're now dealing with Canoom. Yeah, I'm here. And while I'm here, I'm going to make the information direct and clear because a lot of y'all can't hear. Yeah. Now, welcome back to Make My Ancestors Great Again. This is another episode of My Thoughts. And today, as the title states, this is Andrew Wommack on My Thoughts 276. I don't know this gentleman. Never heard of him. He's from C. Harris, or I don't know if you pronounce it all together, Cherish Bible College, or whatever the case may be. We're going to look at his content. He gave a synopsis of God and God genes and God genetics and all this without saying this is what he's imputing God into. And I'm going to say some things that you might not agree with, but we'll get to that when I give my thoughts and opinions on this video. And this is a fair use act. I don't own the video. I'm just giving my thoughts, opinions, and scrutiny. Let's look at the ancestors and we'll get straight to
it. One thing you have to get through your mind and keep it. Nothing that ever came from the European mind was meant to do anything but facilitate European domination of the world. And I said there's no exception.
One thing you have to get through your mind and keep it. And that's nothing that ever came from the European mind was meant to do anything but facilitate European domination of the world. And I said there's no exception. Okay. Let's look at Andrew Wommack. He's going to give his spiel on whatever he's talking about. And I'm going to attempt to navigate you through this on the opposite side of the coin. Because, see, people give you things that God made you do this. God is responsible for this. You can't do nothing without God. And I'm going to give my spiel on the other side. Okay? Let's look at this. Again, I don't own it. If you feel like you want to do something for me, like and subscribe because it won't cost you a fee. You can go watch this in its entirety at C. Harris or Cherish, however they pronounce it. I think it's a Bible or a college, whatever. Let's look at this video.
People think that this is my money. I worked hard for this. When you go to get a paycheck, you don't just thank your boss and say, oh, thank you so much for giving me this. You think, I earned this. This is mine. But the truth is, God is the source of everything. And if you would look at your life as a steward, that everything you have, it's not yours. It's not yours to choose what you want to do with it. God is the source of everything. And a lot of people don't see it that way because they think, well, man, I worked hard. This is my money. But no, God is the one who caused you to be born at this time, one of the most prosperous times in the history of the world. He caused you to be born in a nation where there is just freedom like there has never been in the history of the world. You're free to pursue whatever God puts on your heart. You have all these liberties. Your talents, your abilities are God-given. You can develop what God has given you, but you can't develop what God didn't put in.
Okay. Last words out of this gentleman's mouth, Andrew Wommack, and I'm going to call him Mr. Rogers, okay? No disrespect, but that's the persona he gives me, okay? Mr. Rogers is saying a whole lot of things. I'm going to try to unpack them in a regular perspective. He's saying nothing can be possible without God. That's wrong. Man made God, not the other way around. Now I'm going to go through this. I'm going to stop it. I'm going to pause it and start it and let it go. And I'm going to attempt to straighten this out. Okay.
And most people,
let's continue after people. Stay with me. You hear me?
People think that this is my money. I worked hard for this.
Most people think that this is my money. I worked hard for this. Okay, let's continue.
When you go to get a paycheck, you don't just thank your boss and say, oh, thank you so much for giving me this. You think, I earned this. This is mine.
That's 100% correct. Take the average Joe working man, a trash man, for instance. He don't have to go to his boss and thank him for no paycheck. Whatever the hourly wage, the salary, whatever the case may be, he better get paid either every Friday or every other Friday. Okay? Some people get paid once a month. He doesn't have to thank anyone. Once he put on the application what was required, and they looked at his application. They felt fit that he can do the job. He signed into what's known as either hourly wage or salary. You don't have to thank anybody for that. From there on out, however many hours he put in or however much he's supposed to work per week, that's his. He earned it. It don't have nothing to do with God. When you fill out an application, you do not put God sent me as a reference. If you put that, they're going to throw it in the trash can. Let's continue, African people. They always try to interject God in places that God is not qualified to be. You hear me? And I know that's, you probably say, what is he talking about, God not qualified? God is not qualified to be anywhere, to be used anywhere usefully outside of people who believe in God. See, God don't work outside of the church. You hear me? Or God does not have power outside of the believer who's pushing God. God don't have no power at a Hyundai car dealership. God doesn't have any power at the light company. You hear me? Let's continue.
But the truth is, God is the source of everything. And if you would look at your life as a steward, that everything you have, it's not yours. It's not yours to choose what you want to do with it. God is the source of everything.
If you look at your life as a steward and you look at all your stuff, none of it is yours. It's God's. Everything belongs to God. It's peculiar. Nothing I own was given to me by God. Not one thing. The shirt I have on, I had to go to Hollister and buy it. Come out of a shopping mall. The jewelry and stuff that I buy, I had to buy it. These glasses that I wear, I had to buy it. The hair that I grew it. I don't understand. What did God provide me? This watch, I had to buy it. This internet I'm coming to you on. If I don't pay the internet service and bill and all this type of stuff, Wi-Fi and the microphone I'm speaking into, this Apple Mac computer, none of this stuff was attributed to me or given to me by God. Let's continue. This is foolishness. God does not qualify in these spaces where he's interjecting God. Let's continue, African people.
And a lot of people don't see it that way because they think, well, man, I worked hard. This is my money. But no, God is the one who caused you to be born at this time, one of the most prosperous times in the history of the world.
God is the reason that you're born in this time, the most prosperous time in the world. And some people say, hey, I worked hard for this money. This is my money. You damn right. You don't work, you don't eat. It's Bible scriptures that attest to that. Go on, they have little cliche sayings. God helps the child that has his own. So that's meaning if you don't move your feet, you don't eat. In a nutshell. God made you be born. That's not true. Nobody birth certificate says God on it. If my mother and father didn't meet, I wouldn't be here before you. If I would be here before you, it would be in some type of other scenario. It wouldn't be me. It would be another person whose mother and father met. God didn't have anything to do with that. My mother lived in a certain geographical location, so did my father. They met. They came together, they had a sexual union, and it produced me. God never entered the room. Not one time. God wasn't in a three-way relationship going in hand when my mother and father had a sexual union. God wasn't in there. Let's continue. This man is just interjecting God in places that God don't belong. The only place God belongs is in the church and in the heart of the people who believe in God. He has no power outside of any of those two I just named. You can't stand out in front of a car and say, hey, God said stop this car. You can get your ass ran over. Let's continue. Mr. Rogers is cutting up. He's just filibustering, saying a whole bunch of nonsense. Not filibustering. He's just sitting here saying a whole bunch of nonsense that doesn't mean anything. But since he put God there, people say, hey, man. No, let's continue.
He caused you to be born in a nation where there is just freedom like there has never been in the history of the world. You're free to pursue whatever God puts on your heart. You have all these liberties. Your talents, your abilities are God-given.
That's not true. Okay. Your God-given talents and your ability is from God. Now that's cliche. That's just a statement. Hey, he had God-given talent. That's not the same. This man cannot beat Michael Johnson in a race. This man cannot beat Usain Bolt. This man right here couldn't do anything that Bruce Jenner did. Nothing. God does not give you genetics. Okay? God does not give you talent. It's a midget right now. He was giving all his attributes, his talent and abilities by God, but he's a midget. He's a short human being. He will never get into the NBA. Why? He doesn't have the God-given talent. Since you're saying God gave it to him, he doesn't have the God-given abilities. But I mean, God made this midget. This man just saying stuff. Every human being that was born has God-given talents and God-given abilities, right? So why aren't they all equal? Why isn't a God in a wheelchair able to play in the NFL? He got the same God-given talents and ability as anybody else. See? He's just speaking. This man don't know what he's talking about. That's false. 100% blatantly false. What is the God gene? What genetic molecule can be traced and say this is the God gene? Everybody has it and got equal abilities. The same thing with money. Why doesn't God say, hey, everybody get the same amount of money? You get a stipend. No matter where you go, this is God given out of the Bible. Instead of you giving God 10%, some government, wherever you live, in every geographical location, should have God principles set up. Every human being get 10% of whatever. That way, nobody can be above anybody financially. Nobody can be above anyone in classism, educational status. God, if God gave everybody the same thing, this whole world should be equal. You hear me? And you know that's 100% blatantly false. Let's continue.
You can develop what God has given you, but you can't develop what God didn't put in.
Lie detector test said that was a lie. You can develop what God given you, but you can't develop what God didn't put in. That's false. Basketball players, football players, track runners, they weren't born to be that. They acquired that skill. When you go to say, hey, I want to throw a football and I want to be a quarterback, and you end up being that, you wasn't born to do that. You acquired the skills and you put in all the time to become a successful quarterback. So this man, Mr. Rogers, is just speaking. God is not qualified to be in all the spaces that he stuffed God in just because he holding a funky ass Bible. That's my thoughts on this video. It's Lil Kenny Russell, Canoe Connoisseur Moon. You already know what you're going to get when you step in this room. You're now dealing with Canoe. This is what I do, and I love to do it. And before I take back what I said, I add some more to it. This is not to take God from anybody. This is to show you that if you knew who you were spiritually, you wouldn't be chasing no God. And this man have sold you a bill of goods and lies, saying that everybody is equal, which that's false. The money that you receive from the job that you have is equal, and that's yours because God gave it to you, which is false. Because a guy at Payless Shoe Store and Kenny's and all these little small Kroger shopping centers, they do not make the money that Elon Musk make. If everyone is equal under God, they should have the same salary. If everyone is equal under God, they should have the same God-given abilities. Everybody should be able to be Patrick Mahomes. You hear me? Everybody should have a chance to be James Worthy. But when you're born a midget, when some people are born too tall, you cannot acquire the abilities to be certain things. And that has nothing to do with God. That's my thoughts on all this stuff. Again, like, share, subscribe, comment. And I thank you for watching. If you feel like you want to do something for me, like and subscribe because it won't cost you a fee. Education and preparation is the first step to retaliation. Before you pick up a weapon or a silly religion, pick up some knowledge. If anybody's offended by anything you heard, I mean every word. Yeah. See y'all tomorrow.